Hello everyone. In this video we're going to start with lesson 4, which is about heredity. Actually in this lesson we're going to study the Mendel's work. Then we want to talk about the DNA and genes and traits. Then to study the meaning of the heredity and how we got our traits from our parents, why we got this hair color, why we got this eye color, why we have this nose shape, why we have this ear shape. Okay, why do some people they have dimples, some people they don't. Okay, let's start our lesson by solving these true or false statements. I'm going to start with the first one. Siblings look similar because they each have some traits of their parents. Do you agree with this one? So this one is true. Siblings always have the same hair color. Actually, this one is false. Siblings have identical DNA. This one also false. Just to start our lesson, do you know that, for example, if you look at your ear shape and size, you will find sometimes your ear shape is the same as your dad ear shape, and maybe the size it's like your mom's ear size, right? Actually, how did you get this trait? You get this trait actually as a result of information stored in your genetic materials in your cells. Okay, so what is the meaning of heredity? If I want to define the meaning of heredity, is the passing of genetic material from parents to offspring. If you remember, we talked before, half of your chromosomes from your mom and the other half from your dad. So these genetic material, they are passing from your parents to you, or from the parents to the offspring. Actually who started working with the experiments of heredity, his name is Gregor Mendel. Actually he's a monk, and he was, before he became a monk, he was studying science and math. What did he do? He was studying in his garden the peas plant, and he started to study 7 characteristics of peas plant. And he plants these peas, and he started to look at these plants and what are these characteristics, and then he started to study these characteristics. What are the things he studied? What are these 7 characteristics Mendel studied? Actually, he studied the plant height, flower and pod position, seed shape, seed color, pod shape, pod color, and flower color. Yani, for example, if you look at your book here, at page 124, for example, you have a table here of some characteristic, like the seed color for peas. Some peas they have yellow and some they have green. Some seed shape it's soft like this. Some of them it has wrinkles. Pod color it might be green or yellow. Flower position it might be at the top or at the side. Okay, he started to study these characteristics. What is the meaning of characteristic? Is a feature that has different forms in a population. Again, a characteristic, as you see, it's a feature, is a feature that has different forms in a population. Okay, what did he do actually? How did he study these characteristics? What are the things he did? What did he do actually? He started to study these characteristics separately at the beginning, which means, for example, if there is a plant that is making like a green, let's say, or a green or yellow seeds, he studied them alone. He put them alone in the garden separately, and he left them to make self-pollination, and he found all of them produced what only yellow seed color. and he then studied plants, another pea plants. They are making what? They are making green seeds, and he left them to make what? To make self-pollination, okay, without interfering with their fertilization. And he actually here a true breeding plant here is one that will always produce spring with certain trait when allowed to self-pollination. Yani for this yellow, they are what? A true breeding plant. What does a true breeding plant, this yellow? Because when he left them to make self-pollination, all the seeds are produced only the same characteristic, which is yellow. For the green, the same thing. He left them to make self-pollination, and it's a true breeding, which is what plant, which means all the generations are produced from this one, produced only green. Okay. The same thing he studied for the seed shape, the pod color, and a flower position, and the other characteristic. Then what did he do? So all of these are here, let's say, are green. Okay, all plants here producing only green, and all of these are green. You can't see seeds with yellow, only green. Okay, and here on the opposite side, this one, all of them produce what? Yellow. Okay, what did he do? Actually, he took one of these plants that are making only green, and he took one of the plants that are making only yellow seed color. Okay, he took them together, and he started to what? Not allowing them to make like a self-pollination. He interfered and he fertilized the green with yellow. Okay, green with yellow. This plant produce green, this plant produce green, and this one produce yellow seed. He interfered, and what? He make a cross breeding here. Actually, he make this plant with yellow fertilize the green, and he found now the new plants are produced. All of them, they have what? Green seed color. All of them produce what? Green seed color. And he called this generation here is produced what? The first generation. He called it what? First generation. Then what did he do? He allowed this first generation to make what? To make self-pollination. Again, he allowed these, now the first generation, to make self-pollination. What did he found when he took one of these and the other and allow them to make all the plants are produced, the new generation are produced like 3 green and 1 yellow, all of them. They produced this. So the second generation now is produced. Look at the colors are produced like 3/4. 3 out of 4, okay, are green, and he found 4th are what? Are yellow. What did he understand from this? What did he understand, or what did he conclude from this? Actually, here he said that for the first generation plants self-pollination, he called offspring what? Result of his self-pollination. The second the second generation, about 3/4 of the second generation plants had green seeds. Okay, but about 1/4 had yellow, but so the traits seem to disappear. Look at the first generation, the yellow is disappeared. Because this yellow here in the first generation is disappeared, he called this one, he called it what? Recessive. Which means here, what does recessive mean here? This trait such as this one yellow can be observed if a plant receives two factors. What does that mean? In the first generation, what did he conclude? The green is dominant. Green is dominant. Okay, and for yellow is what? Is recessive. For yellow here, let's write it here. And this one, this one is recessive. So the one that appears in the first generation, okay, because all of them are green, it's called what? Recessive. The other one, the yellow is dominant, and the other one is called what? Recessive. Okay, then let's continue here. Let's continue talking about this one. Why the yellow here disappeared in the first generation, and you can see it in the next generation. For this one here, so the trait that seemed to disappear in the first generation reappeared, as you see, in the second generation. What did Mendel hypothesize in this? That each plant must have two heritable factors. Okay, each plant. If you're talking about this one, you're talking about this one, you're talking about this one, you're talking about this one. Each one of them, they have two factors. Okay, one from parents, the other one from one, the other one from the dad. Okay, one from each parent, one from the dad and the other from the mom. The same thing for this one, received one from the mom and the other from the dad, one from the mom and one from the dad. Okay, but some traits such as yellow, okay, seed, could only be observed if a plant received two factors. For example, for this yellow, okay, how it appeared, it received from the parents two factors that store information only about yellow color. Okay, but one from each parent for yellow seed color. A plant with one yellow factor, for example, this one, it has yellow factor, and the other one is a green. What is the color of it? It's gonna be green, because green is color, so the yellow, it will disappear, it won't appear here. Okay, so here because producing green seed is dominant trait. However, this plant could still pass on the yellow factor to the next generation of a plant. I hope this one is clear. If you still have a question about it, you can send me your question. Thank you for listening.